Let me talk for a minute about off-grid lighting. I've never understood the wisdom of some of the forums where people are talking about oil lamps, kerosene lamps, Coleman lanterns for an off-grid situation to bring in the house, and I've just never quite understood that when there's so much better alternative. With lamps, you have obviously a fire hazard. If you knock it over, trip, fall, whatever, then your house is gone. And to me, a fire is it. A fire is the most devastating thing that could happen around my place. One reason I put a metal roof on my house. A fire will destroy garden spots, fruit trees, beehives, homes, barns, storage, food, preps, not to mention your house. So that in itself is one reason not to bring the lamp in your house. But why not use a simple solar yard light? Now this is not a cheap one. I bought this and it's kind of discolored because it's 3 years old, I think. This is not a cheap one. I bought these at Sam's. There were 8 of them for, I think, for $100, which is, you know, a little pricey. You can usually get a solar outdoor light at Walmart or Dollar Store for a few dollars each. $2, $3, $4, probably $5 max. Now these are supposedly 12 times brighter than another lamp, another light, you know, like it. But they're LEDs. They're supposed to use less electricity, last longer. And you say, well, those aren't going to last all night. Well, you know, you're going to be up all night. I mean, in a grid down situation, all you're wanting, I'm going to assume, is something to maybe read by, light your way through the house. I mean, let's face it, if you're carrying this through the house, you've got a torch without the danger, without the fumes. That's another thing I didn't mention, is you know, I've used kerosene and oil lamps in the house when I was lesser understanding or didn't know about these little dudes. Years ago, maybe they didn't have them, but you've got the fumes in the summertime when you're trying your best to keep your house cool in an off-grid situation. You've got, you know, what are those kerosene lanterns going to put off? They put off a lot of heat, not to mention the fumes, the smoke. You know, there's a bunch of issues with that. So let me take this little dude inside a room that I can close off completely and just show you what's going on. Alright, this is one light. Now, I don't know whether you can read that or not. I can read it real well. When I first got these, that's about 6 inches from that box. When I first got these lanterns, and again, this is a pretty good one. And if I cleaned off the globe is pretty nasty there. If I wiped it off, it'd be even brighter. When I first got these, I charged them up, brought 2 of them inside this room. And with 2 of them, you can read easily. Read a book or whatever. So if you had 2 of these sitting beside your chair, hanging on a sconce, you know, again, this is made to stick in the ground, but if you had one that you could, if you had a little sconce, or, you know, men aren't supposed to know what a sconce is, but if you had a some kind of holder on the wall or beside your chair, whatever, you got a couple of them there, you're reading. You know, there's plenty. Now, be forewarned that these, the high power ones, these more expensive ones with the LEDs and whatever, take a 3.2 volt battery. It looks just like It looks just like a regular AA. Now that's a 1.2 volt rechargeable AA. So they look just exactly alike, okay? But this one I think is 3 point something. It's kind of hard to read. 3.2. I see it now. 3.2 volts. So this battery will not turn that light on. It takes a 3.2 volt. But most of them, and if you're wanting to use it double duty, use it as a battery charger also, then you'll want to buy some, maybe the cheaper ones, that have the that use a 1.2. See, I walk in the barn, there it comes on, and I've taken the. Actually, you could lay that dude beside your chair on a table, on a kitchen table. Let me turn the overhead light off. Lay it on the kitchen table, and you've got light. A couple of them, because this, obviously, most of you know what I'm talking about. This is electric eye, and when that is covered up, like I'm going to do with my thumb right now, it comes on. So as soon as the sun goes down, boop, it comes on. But I think this is an important deal. Go get you a few lights. If you can't afford the ones that are the high-powered whatever, then that's fine. But get several of them. I'm going to charge the batteries, make sure they're fully charged, and put them up. Because I don't need them. I've got some out in the yard, but I'm out in the country. I don't need all this. I don't need to line my walkways and such. So think about doing this, and if you've got oil lamps and things like that, and you're buying oil and you're buying kerosene for lighting, man, I recommend this. There's no substitute for having something like this. Okay? When the light's on, that light's off. When the sun goes down, it comes on. As soon as you cover it up, and it charges itself up. It's been cloudy all day, and it's still charged up. Now, how long will it last on a cloudy day? I don't know, but it's still going to be long enough. I mean, dude, if we're in a grid down situation, you're going to bed early. You got enough to worry about, and you're going to be up with the chickens. So I think this is important. I'm going to try to start giving you some things that I believe are quite important. And because I think 2012 is not going to be a good year. Let's just say that. So, and maybe the end of 2011 is not going to be a good time. Think about getting some of these. They're an excellent source of lighting off grid. If the power goes out, you may want to run a generator. You may want to run this or that. But this is one thing you don't have to use. You carry this from room to room. And again, it's just like a caveman would carry a torch from room to room. So you're carrying a safe, rechargeable, replenishable, renewable light source. I've just never understood why the people on the forums talk about buying candles and 100-hour candles and this and that. This is a 10,000-hour bulb, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. And we're thinking about buying 100-hour candles? Come on, I don't get it. Buy something. If you buy the $5 ones, look inside if you can and see what size the battery is. If it's a 3.2, if it's the high-powered battery, or if it's the regular Energizer. And one reason to buy some of these that would have the 1.2 is if you need a flashlight and you don't have a good solar charge or whatever, then you put these outside, charge up your batteries for your flashlights, and then take them out of this. Don't use them for your lights in the house. You take them out and you just use this strictly as a solar charger. Again, double duty. Maybe I covered that once. I think it's important, and I've spent too much time. Sorry about that. I'll try to edit some of this, cut it up a little bit to where it's not so redundant and boring, but I believe it's important. So, do what's important. All right, we go.